I'm not gonna, but step out, man. I'm asking you. I've been nice, dude.
No, I know. I'm not trying to be a dickhead.
Let's go.
Just my check copy.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will catch. You're gonna get more charges. Don't do it.
Today's video takes us to San Antonio, Texas. Officers conducted a traffic stop in the neighborhood, and during their investigation, it was discovered that the driver of the vehicle had an active warrant for a probation violation out of the state of Iowa. After discovering the warrant, officers went to conduct an arrest, and that's when the altercation ensued. Now, most breakdowns, we usually define what is lawful and what is not, but we're here to dig a little deeper than that, to invoke thought and to create a conversation. I'm Sean Tyree. Welcome to Vest Life.
All right, Richard. Coming out for me real quick, man, so we can talk about some things. Huh? You got to speak up, man. When you well, I got to talk to you about some stuff. So step out of the car for me. Listen, man. Don't make it harder. Don't make it stupid. You're not in any trouble right now, but I got to talk to you about a couple of things. If you don't get out and I have to rip you out, it turns into a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear you when you're whispering. No, we cannot. I'm telling you to get out of the car. You need to get out of the car. My God, you got to speak up or roll the window down. Huh? I'll tell you that once you get out. Listen, man, you're skirting the line of me breaking the window and yanking me out and getting extra charges. You don't need that. I don't need that.
That's what I'm trying to ask you.
And I'll answer every single question you have once you're out here with me. Stand by. I don't know. That's why I need to talk to you about some things. I got to clear some stuff up. There's some things that have popped up on the computer that I got to figure out with you. That's why I got to get you out so I can talk to you, get some information, figure out all that stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a possibility. But if you don't get out, then you are going to go to jail at the very least for resisting and for interfering with public servant. So step out of the car. Hey, I'm not going to talk to you anymore until you get out of the car.
So I can tell you right now, the officer is trying to do a really good job of verbal judoing this situation. But one thing that criminals know, especially if they have an active warrant, they know the game just as much as any other officer. All right. They know where they have a warrant. Officers know that there's a warrant. And even though you can say, hey, step out of the car, I just want to talk to you for a second. You already know. Suspects already know when they get out of the car, they're going to handcuffs. And that's why you ask, am I going to jail? And that's when the officer's like, hey, step out. We'll talk about it. But we already know. This is the game, the cat and mouse game that's always played. And we already know the truth. But for the officer here, right, and this is San Antonio, Texas, all right, but I can tell you from experience, when you know you have a warrant suspect or a subject in the vehicle and you know they're refusing to get out, either one, ask for another unit, because even though there's a second there, but you know there's going to be some form of altercation because that back and forth is already happening. They're not going to get out of the vehicle. And right now, you can already tell that this person's probably going to end up fleeing, right? So I don't know if this is a state law for them, but from prior experiences, especially in a vehicle, 2 people in a vehicle, you should already be outnumbered if you have the capacity, right? So there's 2 officers, meaning the contact, and then you have the second officer there, which is the cover. Technically, you should probably get like a third there or even a fourth if you have the capability. If that agency has the capability, you get a fourth. But at best, a third officer, right? You always want to outnumber the amount of people you have in a vehicle. So You know this cat and mouse game is happening. The things that normally would happen, right, depending on the agency, but I also have to say, depending on the training, there should be one, the third officer should be coming up, or that second officer that arrives should already have stop sticks in hand. You know, try to be a little sneaky with it if you can, but if not, then that third officer should definitely be coming up, tossing some stop sticks underneath the vehicle, at least towards underneath the middle, so that way it'll pop the rear tires at least, because they're gonna have to drive straight over it. Or you have a third officer there, and if they have this capability with training, that's when we say you pin the vehicle. And by pinning the vehicle, you're placing a vehicle in the back and a vehicle in the front. Because right now, since you know they have a warrant, they're legally detained. And this is where he's trying to do that verbal judo. You're like, well, you're detained right now. You're not free to leave. I want to talk to you. Step out of the vehicle, so on and so forth, right? But once you get to this point, everybody knows what's going on. The officer knows just as well as the suspect knows. They're not dumb.
I'm not going to talk to you anymore until you get out of the car. Don't make me rip the car open, man. This is your last opportunity, and then I'm going to break the window and yank you out. I don't want to do that. Please don't make me. I'm a nice guy. I'm an easygoing guy, and I won't mistreat you, but if you force my hand, I will do this. So get out of the car.
Don't know is throwing items inside.
So I had to stop this. I don't know if you heard it. Right there over the radio, dispatch just said they have an active disturbance. So 2 officers are already probably at max that can stay on this call. And then at this other call, it's probably, since it's a disturbance, that might be the rest of the officers at this department, depending on the size of the agency. It's San Antonio, Texas, so it might be pretty big. So just think about the amount of resources that it's going to take right now, right? That's divided. 2 officers here at this call, and wherever this disturbance is at depends on how many officers are going to have to go to that call. So now you start having to think, all right, how long are we going to prolong this situation with this person in the vehicle when you know they have a warrant? You're probably going to take them to jail.
I'm a nice guy. I'm an easygoing guy, and I won't mistreat you, but if you force my hand, I will do this. So get out of the car.
Don't know is throwing items inside.
Come on, let's go. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish your cigarette. I'm not gonna. But step out, man. I'm asking you. I've been nice, dude.
No, I know. Like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead.
Let's go.
Dispatch, I copy.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will catch. You're gonna get more charges. Don't do it.
Just like that, it take off every time.
Get on the ground or you're gonna get tased.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Get on the fucking ground. Put your hands behind your back right now.
Okay.
Get your cuffs.
Okay.
Get the girl.
Okay. No, I'm going. Oh,
Put your hands behind your back.
I am. Get up, Malik.
Get your fucking hand behind your back, goddammit.
All right, we got one in custody. We're on Thames. Stand up.
So obviously they end up taking them into custody, and I want to go back real quick to a situation where I wanted you to notice something. All right. So when I make reference about the amount of training and I tell the public, you're complaining about officers being untrained. And then I said before, you got to make sure you're talking with your city council members, talking to the mayor, Actually, I'll pull up the video here so you can see what I'm talking about. We're all in this together, right? If you're in a city or a town or a community or a district or a township and you know that your agency is lacking funding, force the city council to appropriate the proper amount of funds towards their training. Hold them, your council members, accountable, right? Don't just put it solely on law enforcement. I got to say that right now. Don't put it solely on law enforcement to affect or force change. It's not solely on that. It's also on the community members. It's also on their mayor. It's also on whatever city government that sits on that review board or the board of council members. Force them to give the proper amount of funding for the agency in order to force change or training. So as you can see that, right? When I talk about funding for officers, and I can tell one of the telltale signs that I know that the agency is not as well funded as you may think. And one of the telltale signs right now, I want you to see, if you can see my cursor, is right here, right? And why am I highlighting this? I'm highlighting the taser because right there, what they're showing, because of the blast doors, I can easily tell that this is not even a Taser 7. These are, once again, X26 tasers. And the X26, they're outdated. Most agencies now, if they have the funding or proper funding, proper tools, are Taser 10s, having multiple probes. And the importance of Taser 10s, because not only is there 10 probes, but you can also deploy it from a longer distance, meaning you have up to 40 to 42 feet of distance that you can deploy your taser with the Taser 10, opposed to what you have here is the X26s, which you have to be a little bit closer. But as this sergeant or this officer started running in, that's training, because he got closer in with the tool in his hand. You don't know what this person has, don't know if they have a knife, don't know if they have a firearm, but he still has a less lethal tool in his hand, closing the distance on a person without the help at this point right away. Whereas he could have kept that distance, deployed the taser, possibly got a lockup, right? Or allow that second officer to get there and then you close the distance. But as you can see, him running towards the suspect there, the suspect easily got past him because he couldn't grab on anything because he was still holding the tool. Unfortunately, the other officer tried to go in for a tackle, clearly missed him, right? But luckily he had other officers there to help subdue this person. I wanted to point that out because when people notice that, and they say, where's the training? Where's the training? What's the tail sign? Right then and there, look at the tools that these officers have at their disposal. That's usually a telltale sign. The training budget or the amount of funding that this department has, and where are they allocating the money towards, right? Are they putting it back into the agency towards their officers for training and their tools, or is it going elsewhere, right? So just wanted to put that in there so that way you can see the importance of what I meant before in that clip about training and the importance of the community to actually get involved to help push forward the amount of training or tools that these departments need in order to these officers to work effectively. As I conclude this, I do want to point out, right, even though that it was some mishaps in apprehending this person, but they still stayed engaged, and then they end up getting this person into custody without incident. Suspect wasn't hurt. None of the officers were hurt. And just to give a little bit more clarity, the female that was in the vehicle, she also got arrested in the situation because she ended up aiding the male with the warrant in the escape by, one, putting the vehicle in gear, allowing him to drive away. Now, as you can tell, it was a pretty beat up vehicle. It was a hoopty pretty much back in the day. A little hoopty right there, if you're used to that terminology. It was a beat up vehicle. But for something like this, when I have to reiterate that, right? Because this is the training purposes. This is a training aspect of it. If you know you have somebody that has a warrant, immediately, if you're working well with each other or you train this, that second officer should have at least came up with a stop sticks, right? If they have stop sticks or if they have stingers, which you'll see the differences here for most agencies, but put that underneath the middle of the vehicle, because if they do drive away, which they normally have a propensity of doing, having warrants, That's immediately 2 flat tires right there. With that being said, if you learned anything from this video, be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe for more content. And if you did enjoy the content, be sure to click the next video that you'll see coming up above. And like always, Jesus is the light of the way.